Ladies and gentlemen, South Park's brand new special, Into the Panderverse, joining the Panderverse, dropped earlier, well, I guess last week, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday it ended up coming out, and oh boy, it hit everybody hard. Hey, did you hear about that Kathleen Kennedy lady? She sure is ruining Star Wars, really biting, timely commentary. Listen, I think that it's bold and brave, and it's one of the first things. It's one of the first major shows, platforms, whatever the hell you want to refer to it as, to actually take square aim, to actually name names, to say people who are ruining the industry. All I'm wondering is, where was all this vitriol? Where was all this biting commentary back when these people were having these discussions about a decade ago? Like, everybody knew the writing was on the wall with Kathleen Kennedy, because one of the first decisions that she made back all the way back in 2012 was to just go ahead and decanonize all of the Star Wars extended universe. And people were pissed off at that because I know that there are truckloads of novelizations, comics, video games as well, and to just zap everything out of existence. It's like, that's not exactly the best way to ingrain yourself with the public. And okay, they're taking a different direction. Maybe they just want to go ahead and fill in all the gaps. They want a blank slate. They don't want anything in their way. We'll just wait for their films to come out. And well, I've never seen anything that Disney's done in regards to Star Wars specifically, which this was kind of focused on Star Wars, even though, the guise of Disney's ruining everything, but really honing in not so much on Bob Iger, even though he was a named individual in the episode, or special, whatever. But it was really, vitriol specifically on Kathleen Kennedy, which, again, you waited all the way until 2023 when Disney and LucasFilm specifically had one of their worst years ever. Really, really stunning and brave move that you did right there to just come out and go, hey guys, Disney sucks. And everybody else was going, yeah, we know. Thanks for hopping on this well-worn bandwagon. Okay, and then to still take shots at people just going, oh yeah, all you want to do is just complain about things that are woke. It's like, no, we're trying to raise awareness, and you're just hopping on this stuff right now after everybody else has pointed out everything that it seems to be anachronistic to just go out and say, these companies really are shitting on other properties, and just wait until you hear about some of the casting rumors. I'm waiting to get actual confirmation on one of them when it comes to live-action Hercules. Should be seeing something on that in the next couple of days, and boy, it's just about as bad as you can anticipate it to be. But no, for all of the praise that this the South Park special is getting for being the last kid to the party to make the same old tired joke, a little underwhelmed. Because, okay, what did we hear beforehand? What was this was supposed to be? Okay, because obviously you got the screenshot of all of the race and gender swapped kids from South Park. Everybody was a woman of color, and it's like, you know what? Hey, man, that's been happening for a long time, but it got really bad recently. So, yeah, if you're going to go ahead and talk about that, fantastic. And then also hearing about something about the over-reliance on AI, that's also what they were going to be taking shots at. But I don't remember hearing anything specifically. It was going to be about Disney and Kathleen Kennedy. Maybe a little bit about Disney, but not specifically about Kathleen Kennedy. So, yeah, man, it had all the goodwill in the world, and I know that some of the jokes ended up hitting, and a lot of them went viral in South Park, and, well, I guess it would be Paramount, after all, loves to copyright strike shit, and I heard from a bunch of other people as well that they were having a tough time putting up their videos because they were just being outright blocked, not even just copyright claimed, because I could fight a copyright claim in order to put them up, so no, I'm not going to be playing any clips. I'll be showing still frames of one, which really, really fucking irks me. Because, yeah, for as much as the coverage, like it says with this headline, South Park's questioned Disney's diversity efforts and new Paramount streaming special joining the Panderverse. As much as this screenshot, okay, all of the focus on Disney, Bob Iger, Kathleen Kennedy right there, is getting its flowers right now. There was a B plot that was out there that I thought was, oh, okay, cool. You're going to go ahead and push that underneath because, we want to slap on both sides, except for one is a slap and the other one is, just a light little backhand. Anyways, every kid frets about monsters hiding in their closets from time to time, but only Eric Cartman specifically worries that Disney executives are lurking in the corners of his bedroom, waiting to replace him and all of his friends with diverse women complaining about the patriarchy. That was a clip that was out there, and that shit was hilarious. If you can find it, go ahead and take a look, okay? It's Cartman laying in his bed. His mom comes in the room. He's like, ma'am, can you check out his bed? Ma'am, I think the Disney executives are in my bed. Ma'am, you can't replace me with everybody. You don't really like it, ma'am. It's just funny. Not going to say that it wasn't funny, the clips that I seen. All I'm saying is that you're a day late and $1 short. Cartman's extremely on-brand concerns serves as the launching pad for South Park joining the Panderverse, the series' latest Paramount Plus special, which finds the iconically intolerant fourth grader directing his ire towards LucasFilm president Kathleen Kennedy. Who is Kennedy, you ask? Yeah, a lot of people are going to look at that and go, is this made up for the movie? It's like, oh no, she's the lady with the Star Wars thing. And, well, you know, I like the first one that came out all those years ago. The Force opens up, the Force Awakens, right? Because it was like the first one that came out, and it looked good. It had the lens flare with the J.J. Abrams guy. It was fun, right? I don't know. I kind of fell off after that, right? Because like I said, I personally never seen any of the Disney ones. Here's how I know that they were all going to be fucking trash. Because the place that I was working at the time, I was working... one of my coworkers, he was kind of a normie dude when it came to media and most of his takes that were out there. And him and his girl at the time, you know, went and watched it at the theaters. And he's like, oh, we'll go see the new Star Wars. It's like, I'm not going to see it, so you can go ahead and spoil away. He told me the spoilers. Oh, I'm sorry. I hate to burst anybody's bubble who has waited 9 years and was just on the precipice of watching The Force Awakens. But Han Solo dies. And him, word for word, after telling me that, is like, do you want to know the big spoiler? It's like, yeah, sure. I don't care. Oh, they kill off Han Solo. It's like, oh, great. Harrison Ford's wanted me to do that forever, and he finally got his wish. Fantastic. It would be a real shame if he came back 4 years later in order to reprise his role in a real shit fucking conclusion to a trilogy. He wouldn't possibly do that, but he also said, word for word, and I won't forget this, and this is always something that's going to be sticking in the back of my mind when it comes to Disney's remake, or attempted remake, or repurposing the Star Wars licensing, however you want to put it. It was basically like the first one. It was basically like A New Hope, just done over again. So it's like, oh, okay, so I've already seen the film. I really don't need to see it. Well, you could, you know, it was kind of good. That was the praise. Me personally, I seen in public. I know a lot of people like it, or a lot of people tolerated it, but also a fairly significant portion of the populace was like, no, I see what's going on here. I don't like it. It's not just, it's not creative. It was done with malice, because the first spoken lines in The Force Awakens, the first official Star Wars movie that came out, this will begin to set things right. So they set out purposefully, by acquiring the IP, talking about Disney, to say that, no, we're going to do Star Wars right. And then the rest of the film came out, setting up mystery boxes galore, and then the less said about the rest of the stuff, well, you can go ahead and find enough commentary of people who have watched and broke down everything to a molecular level. When it comes to Disney Star Wars, I will leave it up to them. But long story short, the fandom is the way that it is right now. Well, that it is if you can find them in real life, because there's a very vocal minority that's out there on Twitter in certain corners that are out there that just loves everything Star Wars that comes out. Really doesn't much matter. Yay, lightsabers, the blasters, and stormtroopers. We love them. Ahsoka's the best female character, like literally ever. There's some people that are out there like that, and then the other ones that just continue to refer back to, that was that Luke Skywalker thing that I watched when I was a kid. It was pretty cool. That's basically what you have right now when it comes to people that like Star Wars. Where it's at right now, nobody likes it, except for the people that really like it, and the other people that just think that it's not what it is right now. Anyways, that was all care of Kathleen Kennedy, and that ball was beginning to roll all the way back in 2015. So yeah, real brave to come out 8 years later. Under her leadership, we've gotten a new Star Wars sequel trilogy and various side films. Only 2 side films. One of the streaming shows, the Obi-Wan show, was supposed to be a movie, but because Solo, one of the various side films that came out, ended up losing money, it quickly became a D+ streaming show. And the other one that's out there, does anybody remember Rogue One? Yeah, exactly. The fifth Indiana Jones movie. Oh boy, how much money did that lose? Fantastic. And a handful of Star Wars TV series, including Andor, which nobody watched, which I hear is fantastic from the people who did watch it. But I'm not going to watch it. It doesn't really seem like my thing, but that's all right. And The Mandalorian, which yeah, okay, the first season sure was popular, and then it just precipitously started to lose popularity. That's one of those things that I've watched reviews of, like EFAP does their TV breakdowns, little watch-alongs, little edits, and all that stuff. Very entertaining, very good to catch all the context. So yeah, I know the context of these films, of what these studios are doing. That's why I want to talk about this stuff, because I think that it is societally important, and it's mostly the way that people consume ideas on a grand scale. So if I see flaws that are in there, I want to point them out, because conservatives en masse giving up on the arts all those generations ago, just simply dismissing them as, oh, child's entertainment. Oh, Star Wars, that's just a stupid movie about space wizards for children. For as much as I might potentially hold that position, because it's one of those things that I didn't watch when I was first a child. I've reprised myself of watching the prequels and the OT, and I thought that, you know, they were fine. Okay, like, yeah, obviously the Empire one, that's the best one. The first, like, I'd probably go, what, 5, 4, 6, 3, 2, 1 would probably be my personal ranking when it comes to the ones that I've watched. And that's kind of like a pretty normie take for people that are out there. You might flip, you know, Return of the Jedi with Revenge of the Sith, but like outside of that, it's nothing that I'm, you know, like really champing at the bit to go back and watch again. It's like, I understand why they were probably revolutionary at the time. And yeah, you know, some of the storytelling's pretty tight, but 2 films does not make it a great franchise, especially when there's this much fucking shit that's out there. And most of that shit is all thanks to Kathleen Kennedy. But yeah, she considers herself to be a champion of diversity. Yes, the Force is female, guys! And what does that lead us to? Getting mocked on South Park, both on and off the screen, and believes in having cast that represent the world today, a sentiment that clearly wouldn't sit well with racist, anti-Semitic. Oh, good. You do love to see, especially in today's day and age, just the rise of anti-Semitism when it comes to just ists and phobes being thrown at people. We're going to have to add icks as that descriptor as well. Homophobic, oh, there it is, and misogynistic, childlike Cartman. Oh, see, the analogy for the audience. Oh, for all of those people that just sit and do anti-SJW or scream about woke stuff on the internet all the time. They're just the analogy for the racist, anti-Semitic, homophobic, misogynist. Which, to be fair, you know, Cartman, I remember in early South Park stuff. Okay, and in the South Park movie as well, Cartman sings a certain song about Kyle's family. Okay, I seem to remember that stuff. So yeah, he might actually be one of those anti-Semitic people outside of the, you know, how it's currently used right now for people that, you know, are just questioning what a government is doing by leveling an innocent people's land. Anyways, Cartman theorizes his recurring nightmares in which he and his friends are portrayed as racially and sexually diverse women aren't dreams at all. He's actually seeing into an alternate universe, and then that ends up being true. So, okay, no one takes him seriously, least of all Kyle, who finds a multiverse to be an overused plot device. See, kind of cutting. See, okay, for all of the targets that it makes, it's like, yeah, those are very easy targets. Okay, they're at least talking about current stuff that people are kind of done with, mostly because they've just been handled so tremendously poorly from DC and from Marvel. You know, the multiverse gimmick, and it wouldn't be overused if it was handled well, but you gave it to the likes of Michael Waldron on the Marvel side and idiots that thought that keeping Ezra Miller on a big budget project or just making him the central star of your film was going to be a good financial decision. You know that you aren't exactly working with the industry's best and brightest. It's kind of like the idea of superhero fatigue. If they were being written well or even competently, there wouldn't be such thing as a superhero fatigue. People would still be going to watch what they wanted to. It's a quality and quantity problem. Anyways, but yes, until a portal suddenly opens, swapping white male Cartman and black female Cartman. Yes, of course. And you know what? That is stunning and brave, according to Fox News opinion piece. Okay, and that's what everybody's focusing on, right? South Park lauded for mocking Disney's woke gender and race swapping reboots. It's a national treasure, guys. It's all fantastic. Clips from TV special of the show South Park went viral on Friday for mocking Disney CEO Bob Iger, Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy, and Disney's companies widely criticized pandering to liberal politics. In recent years, Disney has faced a series of challenges, ranging from accusations from conservatives that the company is pushing a liberal agenda with a number of their movies either underperforming or failing at the box office. Yes, in recent years. Like, are we talking generationally? Anyways, some of the new films, which include The Little Mermaid. Yeah, don't want to talk about that specifically, but you'll go ahead and make some poorly scripted Andrew Tate fucking parody. Oh my god, that was cringe. Have faced backlash, yes, for pandering, diversity, politics, blah, blah, blah. South Park summarized its episode focused on character Eric Cartman, who has a nightmare about all of his friends being replaced with, woke swaps, right? Multiple clips of the episode went viral, on Twitch, not Twitch, sorry. They probably just thought that it's bigoted to have out, but no, X, right? Formerly Twitter, including one where Cartman describes his nightmare, where I want to scream, they're replacing all my friends, so on and so forth. And yeah, that's what everybody gets switched out to be, obviously. Yeah, you can see black female Cartman, okay, Asian Kenny. You got, what, Latina Stan and Latina Kyle? Is that what you're doing right there? Or Latinx? They kind of miss, okay, like I understand that the crosswalk sign is fairly iconic when it comes to South Park, but they really missed an opportunity to have little, dangly bits in between both genders' legs there. That would have been funny, but anyways, just a little oversight, I would imagine. It's still a two-man show after all. Cartman later describes his dream. Disney stock keeps going down and down and down, and Bob Iger's like, no, what's going on with my stocks? But yeah, Bob Iger's much more important to the inner workings of this stuff, as people in the know, but I can understand and kind of give a pass to South Park on this one, because if you don't know, you don't know, and if you do, kind of want to also keep that door open, because he ended up going light on Bob Iger, all things said and done. But okay, multiple social media users were tickled by the clips and storylines. Okay, Luke Redkowski, Timcast co-host. No, that dude moved to Florida, and Tim's still doing his gimmick up there in West Virginia, I think. Anyways, shared a clip from Cartman's Nightmare and credited the series, saying South Park outdid themselves again. Yeah, it's so funny. You're seeing all of these Disney takedown clips that are out there, but there's also another subplot that eventually does intersect and manage to cross over with the main plot in order to resolve the major issue there again. I don't want to spoil it, because as hard as I'm being on it, it's like, if you want to go watch it, I hear nothing but good things about it. All I'm seeing is just, the criticism, a day late and a dollar short, okay? But what I have a big problem with is the B plot that's down there. Is Randy, what's that, Stan's dad? He's kind of being portrayed, and as he always has been, as just simply being, kind of a bumbling asshole. Cut from the same cloth as Peter Griffin and Homer Simpson, just far more foul-mouthed, because, well, South Park can get away with that stuff. That's the way that the show is designed as. But long story short, to just go ahead and wrap it up, and I don't want to spoil too much for everybody, but yeah, there you have a bunch of dads who are incompetent when it simply comes to just doing household chores. So because they end up getting outsourced, they have to offer all of their skills that would normally keep their families well fed and a roof over their home. No. They get taken for granted because they're all incompetent, bumbling goofs. The computer programmers that makes 6 digits a year. The lawyer that's down there. Human resources. Well, we could do without a bunch of those. But no. They're all shown as incompetent assholes that will just do anything because, well, they're no longer needed at their jobs, right? Who so happens to come on over and save the day? Well, that would be the handyman, okay? The guy who will just, go ahead and do anything. And what does it end up being? Well, of course, it just ends up being a Mexican. And of course, it's like, okay, they're outside of a Home Depot. That's the old joke there as well. But at the same time, when everybody was growing up with Homer Simpson, okay, he was a representation of the modern family at the time. And Ed O'Neill's in Married with Children as well. It's always the father. The father has been portrayed in popular media, tell me when I'm telling lies, as either a bumbling, incompetent boob or a borderline abuser. That's the way that men, straight men, fathers in media have been represented for far too fucking long. And this is just a continuation of that, but nobody wants to have that conversation. Everybody just wants to go, they made fun of Disney and Kathleen Kennedy's going to be fired any day now. Oy. You had the opportunity, South Park. You could have done it. A lot of people are saying that you hit it out of the park. I, for one, kind of think that you ended up fouling the ball straight back into the catcher's mitt. Better luck next time. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.